Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the weekly Bento here on the Otaku Crypt. This is our sampling of random nerd thoughts and things that are going on in our lives. I am your host, the Crypt Keeper, Mr. Joshy T. And this week, there's really only one thing to talk about. And it's this. Yes, I am recording this Friday, which is the release day of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I'm been very excited about it. I'm excited to see how they have changed the format of the games, and I'm excited to see all of the new Pokemon. It is that kid in me coming to life once again because there's new Pokemon. So many of you can relate to this. I know you understand this. I'm just saying it because I'm excited. Yeah. But I figured since it is a Pokemon release week and we're all just going to be staring at our 3DSs for the foreseeable future, I better get this out of the way now before I lose all productivity. You'll notice this is still sealed. I promised myself I wasn't going to start playing until I did my video. Good boy, Josh. But I figured I would just take this video and talk about my Pokemon memories because I was there from the beginning. I'm going to be turning 27 this year, and I have been around for Pokemon since the beginning, and I will basically start at the beginning. I was introduced to Pokemon through a friend. I was gone out to the schoolyard one day. There's my buddy with his Game Boy playing a new game called Pokemon, and he had Red version. And of course I was utterly fascinated by this because it was battling these fantastic creatures who had all these amazing powers, and they grew into bigger, even more amazing creatures. So naturally from there I found out there was a show and a card game, and things spiraled out of control quickly. But as far as the Game Boy thing goes, it's a bit of an interesting story because out of excitement, of course, told my parents all about it, and my dad just bought me my first Game Boy. This was not on a special occasion, nowhere near Christmas, birthday, nothing. He just bought me my first Game Boy Color. And I will always remember the funny thing about it, the only one they had in stock was pink, and perceived gender issues was completely not a thing. I was getting a Game Boy, I didn't care what color it was. Frankly, I grew to love that pink Game Boy. It was awesome. But with it, I got blue version, and basically I think wherever you started playing established what your preference in starter was. I was a Charmander guy. I was. And that Charmander got way over leveled too quick. This is before we understood what balancing a team was all about. I think I beat Cerulean Gym with a Charizard. Go figure. Those are good times. But probably the most poignant memory of that first generation of Pokemon was myself, my brother, his best friend who lived down the street in our very tiny country house on multiple levels of a bunk bed, hanging around a 1.5-inch screen, if that. If whatever the size of a Game Boy was. It feels like it was that big. All of us huddled around whoever was playing the Game Boy at the time. This was original Twitch, except it was in person on a screen this big. Never forget that. It was good times. And of course, as Pokemon went on and evolved, I will remember after the red and blue versions blew up, they came out with a special Pikachu edition, which I lovingly refer to as Ash Ketchum Simulator, because that whole game was designed for you to want to mimic Ash in every single way, because that was the game where you could obtain the 3 starters at various points in the game. And it was way too tempting to just build Ash's team and go from there. Basically no motivation to try other combinations. From there, pretty early on, people were starting to lose interest in second generation because we were so in tune and ingrained with those original 150 and 151 by the time the movie came out. we were already starting to lose fans by Gold and Silver version. I myself don't think I got a copy of it right away. I think it was lent to me, and I had it for about a month, and of course beat it. It doesn't take that long. But favorite part of playing Gold version was obtaining Ho-Oh, because it was a really weird and challenging puzzle level to get to the top of the tower. Guys who have played this will know exactly what I'm talking about. I remember it took me a while to get up to the top of that thing. And then the payoff was Ho-Oh, and it was glorious because original Pokemon fans will know you see Ho-Oh in the first episode but are not given any explanation for what it was until much later on into the show. And I will admit, by this point, even I wasn't as on board. I basically, my next Pokemon experience would be renting Ruby version from a Jumbo Video. My local Ontario and fellow Canadians will remember Jumbo Videos. It was a video rental place. Gave free popcorn when you went in, so that was pretty awesome. And yeah, I rented it for a week, crushed it out. By this point, we knew the formula. We knew how to play Pokemon games. Probably beat that within a week. And I wasn't really active in following Pokemon games until I got a 3DS and tried out Black version. And Black version was kind of what reignited my fire for it, because I think it was the game's first real well done attempt at exploring the world, not just in kind of a happy-go-lucky light, because with Team Plasma and addressing the question of is it right to be capturing and imprisoning these creatures that otherwise have all the power to be ruling over us, if not for our technology. I thought that was kind of brilliant and almost too deep for something meant for kids. I loved it. I've had that in my brain ever since. I love thinking about that aspect of the Pokemon world, and I thought it was really cool of them to address it in a game and in the shows. And then following that, I was on board and was a big Pokemon fan again with the release of X and Y, because of bringing back a focus to the original 150 and blending them really nicely with the new Pokemon and the older generations. And again, there was a deep story. There was background lore to explore in the Kalos region. And at first, I thought Mega Evolution was pretty silly. It seemed borrowed from Digimon because it was temporary evolutions. But once you actually did it, it was so exciting. Seeing your Charizard morph into something more dragon-like, or just the change in the color scheme. For some reason, it was insanely exciting. And seeing it done in the show, and the way it was done in the show, was great. I completely disregarded any problems I had with that as a plot device or game device once I got into it. And also some of those designs are just wicked cool. Charizard X, oh my goodness. Black and blue on Charizard. Yes. Million times yes. And so that brings us to now. I have been incredibly excited for the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Particularly excited about this tropical Hawaiian theme that they seem to be going for. It's really interesting, kind of reminiscent of the Orange League, I guess. If you guys remember that portion of the show, the island hopping aspect. I love that they've, at least from outward appearances and on trailers, abandoned traditional gym format, which was kind of ballsy because these were a series of games where that was the format, and now they're changing it up a bit. That I find it very welcome. I'm very excited for the way the Aloha region is set up with the trials and the Guardian Pokemon and the Kahunas. I thought this was well done on their part and a nice welcome change, and I look forward to seeing how it works in action. And so far, as with anything past Generation 1, and even in Generation 1, some of the new Pokemon I've seen completely excited. Some of them kind of a miss. The sandcastle one they released. Okay, I mean, have fun with that, I suppose. That one felt lazy. We'll see. Other ones, I became sold on all of the starters once I'd seen all of their forms. Even the water starter, which of course was weirdly this outsider online that nobody seemed to like, and now he's just everybody's darling, which I think is great. Its third form was awesome. The mermaid thing, great. And its Z move, awesome. And as you can see, I went with Pokemon Moon simply because at heart I identify as a nocturnal person, and also this bat legendary I think is just awesome. That is such a cool design. I am going to love that one. And for anybody curious what starter I was gonna pick, gonna stick to my roots, go fire starter, go Litten, and I am going to enjoy leveling him up and getting him to that third badass werecat form. So yes, there is my excitements for the new games and my history with Pokemon. Why don't you guys let me know what some of your favorite Pokemon memories were? Did you guys huddle around a single Game Boy as well like we did? Did you just go completely apeshit when Pokemon Stadium came out? I probably invested hundreds of hours in that game. That was a game that you couldn't even level your guys in. Like, come on. Come on. How much did you play that game, and how excited were you for the Mewtwo fight? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Leave your memories and comments in that section down below, and stay tuned for more Pokemon content. I'm sure I'll be rolling out a bunch of stuff as these weeks go on and become re-obsessed with Pokemon. The first of our Pokemon themed videos is already released right here. You can go check out Big Sis Undead Do rocking her Pokemon gear. She's delightful. She is just delightful. And as always, you can go to our website, www.otakukrypt.com, to check out everything that we do. Hope you guys enjoyed this serving of the weekly bento. And of course, it will be back next week with another sampling of Crazy Nerd Thoughts.